going down to old Maui.
I love a woman and she loves me.
Heave away,
She belongs to the rolling sea.
heave and haul away,
Though she's made me many a pound,
heave away,
I had no choice but to cut her down.
heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid.
She was crammed with liquid gold.
Heave away,
Never was a finer cargo stowed.
heave and haul away,
Kegs and bottles all locked up tight.
heave away,
And another one to get us through the night.
heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid.
We filled our pockets and we never got caught.
Heave away,
And emptied them again at the nearest port.
heave and haul away,
Find us a buyer and we'll find a way through.
heave away,
Leave it to the maid and a fearless crew.
heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid.
Through the glass of the customs come.
Heave away,
We'll never let the king's men steal our rum.
heave and haul away,
Scuttle the hulk as the maid goodbye.
heave away,
I never thought I'd see the boatswain cry.
heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid.
Now we're hiding in the tavern among the kegs.
Heave away,
Drinking all day trying to wet our legs.
heave and haul away,
Though our next ship may be strong and true.
heave away. We'll always be the milkmaid's crew. Heave and haul away, cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid. Hoy!
A recruiting sergeant came away from an inn near town at the close of day. Said, "My Johnny, you're a fine young man. Would you like to march along behind a military band with a scarlet coat and a fine cocked hat and a musket at your shoulder? A shilling he took and he kissed the book. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya?" The sergeant marched away from the inn near town at the break of day. Johnny came to with half a ring. He was up to be a soldier to go fighting for the king in a far-off war, in a far-off land, to face the foreign soldier. But how will you fare when there's lead in the air? Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? Well, the sun rose high on a barren land where the thin red line made a military stand. There was slingshot, chain shot, grape shot too, swords and bayonets thrusting through. Poor Johnny fell, but the day was won, and the king is grateful to ya. But your soldier is done and they're sending you home. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? He said he was a hero and not tinkering, for the two ruined legs and the empty sleeve took him home, and they set him down with a military pension and a medal from the crown. But you haven't an arm, you haven't a leg, the enemy nearly slew ya. You'll have to go out in the streets and beg. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? And a fine cocked hat and a musket at your shoulder. The shilling he took and he kissed the book. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? Oh, Polly, love, oh, Polly, the rout has now begun, and we must go a-marching to the beating of a drum. Come dress yourself all in your best and come along with me. I'll take you to the cruel wars in High Germany. Oh, Harry, dearest Harry, mind well what I do say. My feet, they are so tender, and I cannot march away. Besides, my dearest Harry, I am with child by thee, not fitted for the cruel wars in High Germany. I'll buy you a horse, my love, and on it you shall ride, and all of my delight shall be walking at your side. We'll stop at every alehouse and drink when we are dry. Be true to one another, get married by and by. Oh, cursed be the cruel wars that ever they should rise. of marrying. Glen pressed many a man likewise. They took her Harry from her likewise, her brothers three, and sent them to the cruel wars in High Germany.
Oh, the year was 1778. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. A letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I've ever seen. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Oh, well, Sid Barrett cried the town. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. For 20 brave men, all fishermen, who would make for him the Antelope's crew. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The Antelope sloop was a sickening sight. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She'd a list to the port and her sails in rags, and the cook in the scuppers with the staggers and jags. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. On the King's birthday we put to sea. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. We were 91 days to Montego Bay, pumping like madmen all the way. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. On the 96th day we sailed again. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. When a bloody great Yankee hove in sight, with our cracked 4-pounders we made to fight. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The Yankee lay low down with gold. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She was broad and fat and loose in stays, but to catch her took the Antelope 2 whole days. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Then at length we stood 2 cables away. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Our cracked 4-pounders made an awful din, but with one fat ball we ain't stove us in. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. The Antelope shook and pitched on her side. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Barrett was smashed like a bowl of eggs, and the main truck carried off both my legs. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. So here I lay in a tender. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. It's been 6 years since we sailed away, and I just made Halifax yesterday. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers.
From Tortuga's port we put to sea and sailed for 16 days. In the biggest storm I'd ever seen, we almost lost our way. When a call came from a deckhand, boys, I think she's going down. But don't you fear, there's enough from here to drink until we drown. Oh! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? A lie in the the morning. Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. So his deckhand grabbed a barrel, broke the seal and took a swig, and soon their screams turned into songs, their panicked work turned into jigs. The first mate bellowed orders, ever trying to save their skins. Any drunken wretch the captain catch'll beat on limb from limb. Ho! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Every man continued drinking, all their duties long forgot. They were deaf to every order till they heard a pistol shot. The captain stood on forecastle, swung the cat above his head. Back to your posts, or by my ghost, you'll wish that you were dead! Ho! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Every drunk received a beating, some of the drunker managed to. The captain kept an eye until he'd sobered up his crew. He then retired to quarters, put the rum upon his shelf, sat in his seat, put up his feet, and drank the rest himself. Whoa! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises.
Yeah, that's okay, we'll use it. I like the weight.
Woo! What great sweeping.
So,
Let it curl if you can. Let it curl if you can. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay, Casey. Hey, does that count for bad shots? If you guys did it? I have to have a new timing because I can't, so I'm just going to try to do dark line to dark line.
It's really not.
Just top of the stroke and hit.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The ice is cold, but the action is heating up. It's the third annual Pirates of the CurlRibbean Bonspiel, hosted by the Orlando Curling Club. We're here live at the Daytona Ice Arena with our featured match on Sheet C between the Arrghs and 5 sheets to the wind. I am Brian Bird, and I will be with you throughout all the action on this second draw of Day 1. Working the video production will be the father-son team of Mr. Jim and Tom Windsor. We thank you for tuning in and joining us. We're here at the first end in our featured match. The Arrghs have the hammer. Setting up a couple of guards here. We had a lot of spirited action in our early matches this morning. And we'll be having 2 more draws after this as we go into the evening on day 1. Tomorrow we'll have matches starting early in the morning, I believe 8 o'clock, going all the way through to the evening before we have our finals on Sunday morning at 9.
Yes!
We'd love to have you join us for all of those, or at least a part. If there's a team that you're following, you can do so on the website bondspieler.com. Just search for the Pirates of the CurlRibbean Bondspiel. Bondspieler.com was put together by, I believe, the San Francisco Curling Club, and they're rented out throughout the country to other curling clubs hosting Bondspiels. We appreciate their technological contributions to the sport of curling. You'll hear throughout our broadcast various sounds of the ice. We have both our skips mic'd up today, so you might be able to hear some of the strategy.
All the way.
We'll get some of the calls.
All the way. Get me a biter. Get me a biter. Get me a biter.
We also have a couple of mics hanging from the ceiling, so you'll be able to hear some of the other matches that we will also continually update for you.
Wait only. Careful. Careful. Needs curl. Okay, yeah, bring it. Okay, it's buried. We're good. We're good. We're good. Beautiful. Nice shot. Big city sweeps, boys. Follow it down.
So just to give you a couple of lineups here, 5 sheets to the wind hails out of the Charlotte Curling Club. We have skip Kristen Conrad, vice Ryan Den Hartig. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. Dan Wetterman and Cassie Den Hartig as well. I wonder if they're related.
No! No!
And then on the Arrghh, we have a team split between the Jacksonville Granite Curling Club and the Arrghh Curling Club. Skipped by Nancy Clancy.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Vice
Yes, 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 yes.
Jeff Greenberg, and then you have out of Jacksonville Dan Kalin and Debbie Kersey Dangar.
Okay.
I'll apologize in advance if we get some of the names wrong. Happens to the best of us.
Take a little bit off, I'll get there.
Just need a guard.
Considering I fell too.
Yes, line, yes, line, yes, line. Yes, line. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Let it go, stop. Okay. I was hoping it would start coming over a little more. I've already taken it. This side is curling nicely to get it out of the rubber.
So as we get down to the tail end of our first end, We have
Back up the center guard.
5 sheets to the wind. Skip. Kristen Conrad stepping into the hack for her first shot. Looks like Charlotte is sitting 1. With a stone just barely touching the button. But Arrghh does have one just on the 4-foot. Guessing Conrad isn't going to take any chances. Try and guard up her 1 and move on to the second end.
Yeah, go ahead.
She might have been slightly offline with that, but still something for Arrghh to maneuver around. As we get looks like Nancy Clancy has decided on her shot. It's going to come in. Looks like for the takeout.
Right down the middle and try to spank the ball.
I know, just take the picture. Got a couple of gawkers trying to take my picture over here. I'm not having anything of it. Nancy Clancy coming down with her first shot. Calling for the sweep. Oh, might have crashed on that front guard. No, it looks like it's going to squirt through. Question is, did it have enough on it? No, I don't think it did.
I don't want to mess with that.
And she's not going to be happy with that.
So probably
Ends up plugging the hole
a little
and
bit out from where we were.
guarding up Charlotte pretty well. Conrad probably just going to throw a guard here, take the 1 and move on.
Just a 1. Center, yeah. So I won't throw as much as I did last time.
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
She quick.
She quit, girl. I gotta quit. Yeah, you probably need it.
Conrad coming down, looks like she's throwing the guard. Does it have enough though? She might have hogged that on purpose. No, that will get over. Just be one more thing that they have to maneuver around.
Big city sweeps, boys.
Might be slightly offline. However, she's got to be happy with how she's sitting.
It still go over, but it did the trick, I guess. It got over. I don't know. Didn't really do much of anything now. Look at it from back here, though. Oh, well. Yeah? No. Opportunity for them to get 2 here. Kind of hucked it.
And the final shot of the first end. Coming down, looks like the takeout. Can they thread the needle? Will it wreck on the guard? Yes, it's going to wreck on the guard. It's not going to have enough. So it's going to be 1 point for Charlotte. They will take the lead into the second end. So as we take our first break, I'd like to acknowledge our first sponsor. We are presented by Beasley Breakfast.
Tricky,
Boy, that's a better breakfast.
Yep. Thank you, Hawkins.
Head on over to Beasley Breakfast, get yourself some eggs, some sausage. Tell them I sent you, you'll get 5% off.
Weight only. Like a 2 or 3 or 4. That actually looks okay. Yeah, bring it close, bring it close.
Updating scores on some of the other matches. On sheet A, the weekend with Bernie. Bernie Skurkowski
Okay,
rink
very
out
nice.
of Tampa Bay.
Here's time.
He's taking an early lead after the first end. And on sheet B, it's Queen Anne's Revenge with 2 points over Nina Pinta and Santa Maria, going with a distinctly historical flair.
All the way. All the way till it stops. All the way.
Way further than I thought.
Beautiful. Good sweeping, guys. Nice shot.
And that's a good draw from Jacksonville Granite lead Debbie Cursor Dengar. Debbie Cursey.
Yeah, line. Yes, line. Whoa, I guess it's hot. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Come on, baby. Let's give it a little kiss. Nice shot. Sorry, we have a tripping stone back here. Just beware.
And the second shot from Debbie.
See, that's the spinner. They don't
Just had a little bit too much on it. Ends up going through. Charlotte remains sitting one.
Spinner.
The guard up top. Conrad calling for the top biter. 12 foot. And stepping in for
Little
his
narrow. Where is it?
first shot of the second end is Dan Wetterman.
Yeah.
Dan, a veteran of several bonspiels that I've had to deal with over the years.
That's fine. That's something to play with.
And it might have come up a little bit short there, but it looks like they're plug in the middle.
Sweep! 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 Sweep!
With his first shot is Dan Kalin. Now, last year here at the second annual Pirates of the Curlribbean Bonspiel, it was Dan Kalin who skipped a team from Jacksonville into the semifinals, I
Up
believe.
here's okay too.
With his second shot, gets the takeout, resetting the house.
Line's okay. Where is it? Looks light. What do you think? Fighter's okay. Give me a hair lighter than that, eh? It's okay. Good sweep. We'll pepper the top. It's okay.
Continuing to update scores on sheet D, we have Game of Stones. taking 2 points in the first end over the R2D2s. By far my favorite name at this Bonspiel. You should also see their t-shirts if you get a chance. For those of you who won't be able to join us, they apparently have R2D2 with a peg leg and I believe a parrot or maybe a hat. It's absolutely outstanding. And it's Captain Pickleback over on sheet E taking a 1-point lead over the Scurvy Peaches in the first end.
Yeah, go, go, yes, 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 yes. Yes, all the way, yes.
So it's Ryan Den Hardig who wrecks on his own guard.
Okay.
Looks like Charlotte's setting up a bit of a minefield out front that Arrghh is going to have to negotiate around. Nancy Clancy calling in for a draw behind the two bottom guards. Trying to make that draw, we see Jeff Greenberg with his first shot of the second end. The line looked good, but it just didn't quite have enough weight on it.
Good sweeping, good sweeping.
Clancy happy with the sweeping,
A bit less.
perhaps not happy with the result.
Line's pretty good. Where is it? Whoa, whoa. Needs to stop. Needs to stop. It was fighting that center line, just kept trying to come back. Oh, tripping stone. It's a biter though. Good job. Sorry, I had some trouble calling that line there, I think. I expected it to go further that way, like the other one. So it seems like the center line is fighting. Sweep! Yeah, totally.
And it looks like Charlotte has a biter on the backside. But Arrghh going for the promotion, and they might have done so perfectly.
Very nice. So,
And it's going to be sitting on the back 12.
Here if we can.
So they become shot stone.
Here, because it keeps coming back that way. So.
Promotion might
Here,
not
and
have
then we
been
got a little
what
backing
they
if we
intended,
got
but happy accidents are always welcome here in curling. Looks like Conrad is going to follow him straight in and try and freeze up against it.
See, I had a tap, a draw, or a takeout. Your shot had three possibilities. Well, you know, I look back here.
It's going to fight to get back to the center line, like it has been, I think, but we'll see what it does.
I know.
Yes, yes!
Conrad calling for the sweep. And it's just not quite the line she was looking for.
That one dove over.
Though it may have moved that top guard out of the way just enough for them to be able to sneak through on their next shot.
If she hits me, I'd like to be a fighter, but I mean, if I'm here.
I think it was that far off. I was like, yes. But that one took off. Kind of like I expected your first one to do. Guarded.
I was going to come this way.
Throw some weight out of it. I can throw some weight out of it. I guess
So it looks like Clancy is going to try and put in another guard to plug that hole.
I'm basically
Cut off
throwing
any
a guard,
access
but if it
Charlotte
gets
will
close
have
the house,
to their stone.
I don't want
Take
it
their
to be
one
so
and move
deep that
on.
if she takes me out, she's counting. Can you do me a favor? When it's my turn, get my stabilizer. Yeah. Like this.
I don't mind giving up one the next one. Yeah.
Sweep!
Barely fighting. She's gonna get a good bounce off it though. Right. So we could throw weight between those, but that's iffy. I'm worried that it's not going to curl back much over here. Could also bounce these ones up. What do you think about the bounce?
I like it.
Okay, let's go for that. I think it's going to be right here to get that guy. And I mean, I'm not going to put more than back line on it.
Right.
So if it sneaks through here, it's still got some, like if it ends up curling more than we expect, it'll have enough space to slow down, hopefully.
Clancy has to be happy with her guard there. Really putting Conrad in a bind.
All right, going back line weight, and I'm going to try to bounce this guy up. If for some reason it curls more than we expect, with backline weight we should stick around and hopefully outcount. Yeah. Oh, we'll see. Haven't quite figured out this line yet.
So backline weight was pretty close to what you just threw.
I think so. That's what I was looking at for sure.
You can hear Conrad still trying to figure some things out.
I picked it out a little bit.
Looks like she's going for a promotion.
Yep. Yeah, hard!
Doesn't look like it had enough on it though. Not for what she was trying to do. Yeah, she'll get it over the hog line, but it's going to be a middle guard and nothing else.
I pulled back on it a little bit.
Yeah, she's not going to be happy with that. Cutting off one of her only access points.
Sorry. How I want it.
It's a bit of a stone wall they're going to have to get around.
Yep. Draw or tap. It's up to you. You're the boss. No. That's what I'm calling.
And Clancy with the final shot of the end, what we call the skip stone. Or the hammer. Depending on where you are in the match.
Oh, that's too much ice. Too much ice. Yes.
Gonna try and score two. Probably either draw in between her two guards or perhaps go for a promotion. Her own shot.
Oh, wait on.
Sweep!
Yep.
Calling for the sweep, but I think she's gonna come up short too. Both skips still trying to figure out their weight. But it's going to be 1 point for Clancy and Arrghh, and the game will be tied up after two ends.
I know, I missed one too. Wide open draws and not all they're cracked up to me.
I just need someone to sweep it.
So we start up the third end, and we have first shot. Lost my paper.
Great.
From
We just got by that mogul there.
younger.
If only they had slipped that
It's
away.
a good middle guard.
I was yelling sweet.
For those who don't know, each of the positions on a curling team has a different name. The first person to shoot is generally called the lead.
Now they have.
The second, naturally the second. You have the vice skip, who throws third. And then you have the skip, who is the one in charge of the team, calling all the shots on the other end.
Keep going, keep going.
And when they have to throw, it's the vice skip who takes over the strategy.
That's fine. Let it go.
And generally speaking, you want your leads to throw guards that the seconds can draw around. Set up your vices and your skips for takeouts and other scoring shots. The game was invented, I believe, in the 1600s, mid-1600s in Scotland. They used to take flat stones and slide them across frozen ponds during the winter. How brooms got involved, I do not know, but I am thankful that they did because it might just be the funniest aspect to a sport that I know of. Part of the reason why we all love it. And there we have the second shot from Dungar sitting at the top of the 12-foot. In the shot stone, you'll hear me talk about shot stone or sitting 1, 2, or 3.
It's a little narrow.
That is in reference to what stone is in the scoring position.
I see. It's definitely in, yeah?
The shot stone being the closest to the button, which is the center of the target-looking area called a house.
All right. All good.
Yeah, it's Cassie Dane Arrghh who with her second shot who puts it in the house on the back of the 12-foot. I believe that would take over shot stone. Yes, just touching the 8-foot. So you'll also hear me talk about 8-foot, 12-foot, 4-foot. Each of the rings is a specified distance from the button. The center ring being 4 feet out. Middle ring
Harder.
being 8 feet, and the outside 12
Harder.
feet.
We need part of the 8-foot. Oh, gosh. Okay.
In this case, the Arrghh team was looking for the 8-foot, but they came up a couple short, putting it just inside the 12. So Charlotte remains shot stone, but Green, if they can get a takeout, be in a good position. Wetterman with his first shot.
Where is it? Hot? Okay.
Hit one of those bumpers somewhere.
Will it stick? That's the question.
And just a little bit too much from him. Clancy
shipping
able to
so.
sweep it out.
It's all good.
Touch more. A touch more.
I will use that.
Sweep.
And over on sheet 1, we have a measurement between the Tampa rink of Weekend with Bernie and Burned Rocks Tell No Tales. That's where two stones are so close that by eye you cannot tell which is closer to the center or not. So we have a measuring device
Take about 30%
that has a little pressure gauge that you can swing around
Gonna need you to take about 30%
and
off
see
there.
which one's closer. It looks like, yeah, so it looks like Skurkowski took the point.
Got a curl. It's a little hot.
And actually will tie up that match.
Nope. No. No, never. Never. Bounce, but that's okay. That's okay. That's great. Very nice.
We also have something called a biter bar. That is a bar that you can also swing around on the center that is exactly 12 feet long. That can determine whether or not a stone is in fact touching the house and in a scoring position. The stone cannot count for a point unless it is touching the house, the targeted area.
Sweep! Sweep!
And each stone that is inside of your opponent's closest stone is worth 1 point. So if your opponent has no stones in the house, but you have all 8 of your stones in, you can get up to 8 points in an end. It's rather rare,
Look at that.
but it does happen.
I'll take it! I'll take it!
There you go. Why not?
I think a happy accident for the Arrghh crew, but as you heard Clancy say, she'll take it.
I'm not going to be very good.
Ends up being a double promotion. Knocks Charlotte out of the shot stone and they take over. As you have Ryan of the Den Hardigs stepping in for his first shot of the third end. That's going to be a good shot. Conrad happy with that. They end up bumping out the shot stone and taking over. It looks like they're sitting 2. Clancy wants them to all be taken out. And we'll see if Greenberg can pull it off for her. Oh, they're not going to be happy with that one. Missing the line a bit. Perhaps not enough sweeping, perhaps off broom. And Greenberg ends up hitting 2 of his own stones out. Doesn't change the scoreboard though. Conrad's still sitting 2. And she looking like she's going to draw in. Try and really put the pressure on. Now, throughout the broadcast, you might hear me talk about draws or takeouts or guards. Those are all different types of shots, usually involving how much force you're putting on the stone when you're releasing it, or what we call weight. That shot from Greenberg ends up being what's called a guard, coming up short of the house. Then you have your takeouts. Those are the hardest shots that are meant to hit another stone and remove it from a position, or perhaps promote your own. Into a scoring position. And then you have your draws, and those are the toughest shots.
Thank you.
Because you need full control of your weight so that it can stop on a spot. Usually close to the button, behind another guard.
I think she's trying to nudge here.
Curling is called curling because these stones actually do
You
curl.
clean off your rock before
And
you...
a draw,
Yeah, you have to do that.
oftentimes you're hoping that the stone curls
I had you
around
for your guard.
a guard stone. Sits buried behind it, somewhat protected from a takeout of the other teams.
I'm coming over on our.
Ah, nuts.
Watch how much it goes.
Clancy doesn't sound like she's happy with her first shot. Just didn't have enough weight on it. The first couple of ends, the first couple of shots, it's always trying to figure out how fast or how slow the ice is.
Out here to get there.
How much weight you
Because I
have to
did
put on
it here
it.
and it came all the way over there.
And the ice, as the rocks slide over it, actually changes. The stones cool down, the ice smooths out.
stones in them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I thought those were.
I think so. I think they're the same exact things, yeah. Top stone pit, I think it is. It is, and it dives so much in the last like 10 feet.
Chopper, sure.
Chopper, sure. Don't get me to say stupid shit when I'm mic'd up.
I don't know how stupid it is, but
Yes!
we do apologize for the more sensitive ears out there. We are live. This is the internet. Things do happen.
Okay, just leave it there. Leave it there. Stop, you little bugger. Oh my god, so much at the end.
Yeah, Conrad looking for the guard to
Sorry, it was a
plug up
little
that
narrow, I
hole and keep Clancy from drawing in
Okay, a little
to
more.
steal a point. But it just overcurled, overran a
But
bit.
if it looks the same, pick
Still
it up
leaves that alley
immediately,
open.
you know? Like, try to throw more.
It all should be over there. I feel like the first end is not that heavy content. Yeah. Maybe.
Got more.
Yep, sweet.
Yeah, watch this. Gets me on our thing again. Oh, maybe it's sneaking by.
Ah, nuts.
Aha! Alright, let's take that.
Nancy with the draw in. Is it going to be enough? It looks like it will be.
I think. God, I'd love to come at it this way. Just straight at it.
So she's going to take over shot
I'm just
stone,
worried
but
about
she
the
does
ball.
leave it
Yeah,
wide
I'm
open
just
for
worried
a
about
My rock just made an S turn into the 4 foot. Thank you very much.
takeout for Conrad.
Just gonna throw some weight at it. Throw some weight at it.
Clancy not happy with the ice, it sounds like.
Mogul here, so be careful.
Mentioning an S turn to Dan the Iceman, who is our guru. Setting up and maintaining our ice as Conrad comes in with the hammer shot, looking for the takeout. It could be 3 or it could be 1
Okay, we might be
for
okay.
Clancy.
No!
And she's going to go right through, and it's going to be a steal of 1
Do we get one?
for the Hurry R's.
My bad.
Need a shoulder. I need a shoulder to not cry on, not cry on.
So after getting
I said
down
to the
early,
Iceman
the
going by,
Nancy
"Did you
Clancy
just do that
rink
to my
takes
rock
over the
today?"
lead with 2 straight
Thank you very much.
singles.
Yeah.
As we go into the 4th end, let's get an update of the scores.
Throw a rock.
Over on sheet A, we have the Scurvy Peaches ahead of Captain Pickleback, 3-1. On sheet D, the game is actually tied up at 2. As R2-D2 scoring 2 in the 2nd end against the Game of Stones. Over on sheet B, it's Queen Anne's Revenge with back-to-back 2-point ends. They've opened up a 4-0 lead over Nina Pinta and the Santa Maria. And the very loud voice you may hear in the background is the always discernible Bernie Skurkowski from the weekend with Bernie. And they remain tied with Burned Rocks Tell No Tales. And as we start the 4th end, I would also like to mention a sponsor of our broadcast today, the letter H. The letter H. Or, if you're from Eastern Europe, would be the letter N in the Cyrillic alphabet. Don't want to leave out the Russians. They may come after us.
Beauty.
Conrad happy with that guard. And Clancy looking to draw around it. With her second shot, having thrown the first through, puts up a medium guard. Right on the middle there. It's going to be something Conrad is going to look to draw around. Use as protection as the second shot from Cassie Den Harden comes down.
This one's falling a little bit. Nope. Okay, go ahead. Yep. We'll split them.
Calling for the sweep. It's going to hit her own guard, and it looks like they're going to be able to sweep both in. Is that biting? Well, you have the one that is just biting the 8-foot, and it looks like the other is biting the top 12. So Charlotte's sitting 2 and in a good position with a split house. A split house is when you have 2 stones on opposite sides of the house, allowing for a more difficult time on the other team, taking out one or both. For those of you who were tuning into our first draw of the day, I have some winners for you. Skipper Me Timbers, Captain Morgan's Revenge, the Jacksonville Granite Curling Club, who failed to come up with a name. I'm not making any accusations, but... And the Young Bucks and Old Salts, who took home the victories. And on the call with you was the incomparable Jeff Anderson, our master drawer here. He and Jim Windsor are pretty much running the shows, and we very much appreciate them for doing so.
I don't mind this week. Buried a little bit.
Conrad looking to bury a third stone in the house. Just looks like it's split between the back 8 and back 12. Sitting pretty with 3 as Kalen steps in for his second shot. Clancy's got to do something quick, or else this could turn into a big end very soon. Well, that's not going to have enough on it. It's going to end up with another guard.
Take them off. Like 20% off, Swirly Dan.
Asking for 20% off.
Line's nice. Where is it? Careful.
I'm being told she referred to Wetterman as Squirrely Dan, and that's a reference to some television show that I'm unaware of.
Maybe sit. No, I just want to hear.
Someone else wants to fill me in, I would be more than happy with it.
No, it's okay. That's fine. Nice shot.
I think Conrad is going to be happy with that shot too. A third right on the 4th foot. It's buried behind the top guards.
That'll do.
Conrad really setting things up well here.
Sweep! 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 Sweep all the way! the hair outside. Let it curl. Let it curl. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Just gotta get over. Yeah. Yep. Oh, God. Frosty out there. Oh, it hit the mogul. Got it. Thank you.
Greenberg, I think he was looking for either a takeout or promotion, but it's going to wreck on their top guard, and Clancy really has to get something going here.
We'll come the other way.
Conrad's sitting 4, looking to plug up the middle hole. And this could get out of hand relatively quickly.
62.
Now, for those of you listening, somewhere in the building are mini Twixes. And if someone would like to bring one over to me, I would be greatly appreciated.
Slow down, curl and slow down.
Boy, that was quick.
Bring it in. Yep, go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
This 4th and Vice Skip Stone segment is brought to you by Mini Twix. It's not as good as a full size, but we'll take it
I took you
anyway.
over the mogul. Didn't realize you were there. Yeah, I thought like. But I mean.
And I see coming by the booth is Tom Walzing. How did Tom do in his first match? You won by 1 point. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Now, what team are you on?
What?
Oh, you're Captain Morgan's Revenge. All right. All right. Who else is on your team? Ari, DJ, and Russ. Yeah. 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 Now, were you on the team with those guys last year when we went to the semifinals? I mean, yes. No, you went to the finals. Yeah, you had a lead in the finals.
Heavy as I can throw.
Yeah, I remember
as
that.
Heavy as it. I'm going to try.
Before it was Aaron Sager's team that brought it home in the end.
I know, she's going to do like amazingly, and I'm going to screw up.
Yes. Yes, they're over.
Not been,
They're over on sheet E right now.
Very, very,
A freaking takeout. I just came out like this way or whatever.
Although I do believe that they are losing, so you might be happy with that.
Yeah.
There's a dirt right there. Okay.
We haven't had many
Nancy
takeouts.
Clancy with her first shot.
I expected we'd have more, but
And looking to perhaps do some damage control. Now, if they can just take out that center stone and the 4 foot.
Oh, there's the mogul.
Oh, God. It's going way
Took
out.
it the other direction.
But it looks like it went offline. Might have hit something coming down. Now, can they get a promotion? No, that's going to go through.
So, do we want to try to block this side? Or do we want to not bother because of the freaking mogul? It's causing an issue. You know what? I'd feel better. I'd probably feel better having one here.
It sounds like there's a bump in the ice somewhere that if you go out too wide on the far side of the sheet,
and I'll throw a little less weight.
it'll throw the stone off. Conrad looking to avoid that. She's just going to plug up the middle, and I mean, she's sitting 5 right now. She can plug up this middle, keep Clancy from getting in there. They could really blow this thing wide open.
All right, we're gonna try to do the same thing, just a little less weight.
Move a little bit out.
Yeah.
2 would be great.
Speaking of blowing things wide open,
Bumps and everything are so in the middle.
R2-D2 scores 3 in the 3rd end to take a 5-2 lead over
take
Game
about
of Stones.
20% off there.
Aim for
Yeah.
a green one.
Yeah.
Have it
Oh,
curl
yeah.
out and
Like-
get into that corner.
Trigger pad. All right. Yep.
And it was just pointed out to me that apparently on Bonspieler.com, our first draw match between Loggerhead and Skipper Me Timbers was put in inaccurately.
Keep it
It
straight,
was Skipper
keep
Me
it straight.
Timbers that won.
Keep it straight. Yeah, it's gonna die that way. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Might be over curling for Conrad just a bit, but she seems to have plugged up
It
that hole
goes
relatively
over
well.
like 2 feet at the end. Thanks. I mean, the weight was okay. It just, at the end, I was like, oh, it looks good. Oh. Because it was still off.
And the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria on sheet B have scored on the board, so it's 4-1 there against Queen Anne's Revenge.
So if they stay, that's why I called them on, because I was like, oh, we need this to stay straight.
And it's Burned Rocks Tell No Tales with a 2-1 lead over Skirkowski and the Weekend at Bernie's.
If they go off of it and start
No, it's Weekend with Bernie. Excuse me. I would also like to point out, for those of you who can't see it, week is spelled W-E-A-K, as in a weekend. I love a good pun, and I will always point them out when you get them. And it looks like Clancy is going to thread the needle. Can she get it? And, oh, it might not be enough of a bump. She had the right line. It was one heck of a shot that's going to limit a lot of damage.
So let's just follow it in.
Conrad
Let's
still
see if
with
we
a
can end
stone,
one.
but now
Period.
Clancy's sitting second shot, so Conrad
Yeah,
looking
that's
to
what I mean,
only
like,
score
it has to
2
be there.
instead of 5 or 6.
I don't know this line well enough to know that it's not going to die, but we know this line pretty well now. And even if we get a bounce off of this guy at the end, that's okay. So, let's hear it. And if for some reason we have a fluke thing,
Yeah, but what am I, number 3?
looks like it's taken off and it's going to pick that one, right?
That's going to be hard to get.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, so she's got 2. Nice chat, Nancy.
Thank you.
What? Sitting one. Or shitting one? Yeah. Shitting one. Oh, family programming.
That's sitting one.
Okay, so we're wanting to get here, right? So we can get 2.
Again, we
But for some
apologize.
reason, it dives like crazy and nicks hers. That's great. We also have a safety stone up there on our right. Exactly. Exactly.
So Conrad coming down with the hammer shot, looking to
Yes!
nick their own.
Oh wow! Yeah, hard.
Nick the Clancy shot out so that they can get a bundle. But it's not going to have the power. It's going to hit the top guard, and it's just going to be 1 point. So Clancy with a brilliant shot on her final stone really limits the damage. It could have been 5, could have been 6, but instead is only 1 for Charlotte, as the score now tied up 2-2 here in our featured match. Now you hear me talking about ends every now and then. An end is like an inning in baseball to a certain extent. There are, as I said earlier, 4 players on each team, and each player throws 2 stones. So when all 8 stones for each team have been thrown, that is the end of the end. You score it, rack them up, and then you go the other way. We are through 4 ends here of an 8-end match. And we'd like to introduce a new segment here for this year's broadcast. It's called 5th Inning Factoids. 5th inning, I just talked about innings and ends. 5th end factoids. And to bring us some factoids, I'd like to bring in our first interview of the weekend, Mr. Jordan Cuoco out of the Orlando Curling Club. Jordan, how are you?
Hey there, you two. Doing great.
Yeah?
Just our last match. Very competitive match.
Yeah, who did you play?
We played Loggerhead Curling.
Loggerhead Curling, yeah.
Good people.
Good people.
Down in South Florida.
Oh yeah, South Florida. They used to be the West Palm Club, correct?
They were, let me see, Palm Beach.
Palm Beach, that's what it was.
That's what they call themselves.
Yes.
Palm Beach, and they are Loggerhead now.
Yeah.
Check them out. Facebook.com.
Oh boy. So how's the action? How have you found it so far today?
You know, as a team, it was a real team win.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone making shots. Everyone hitting shots. I don't know about our second.
Is he the weak link on your team?
The back end really had to step up.
Had to really, yeah. Okay. But sometimes the back end has to do that. And how about you? Did you play well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When they called the guard, I was absolutely 100% in the house. Stones in house.
So not exactly what was being intended, but still productive.
It gave their lead something to do, yes. Lindsay was on point, taking out all of my stones.
Lindsay had several takeouts, we saw, yes. As Conrad sneaks just by. Will it stick in the house? It looks like Clancy might be able to get that out. No, it's going to stick, just biting, just barely, maybe beyond the 8 foot, so Charlotte will sit shot stone. So how was the ice? Have you appreciated the changes to the ice?
Oh yeah, Ice Tex did a great job.
Yep.
Shout out to Dan. Dan the man.
Dan the Iceman, absolutely. A couple weeks ago, the rink was completely taken down, right? All the ice melted and repainted underneath and then built back up. Is that correct?
Yeah, it feels great. Not a whole lot of negative curl. So that's what you want to see as an arena curler.
Right. Arena curling always a bit dicey, but you can get it pretty consistent. A whole lot happier, correct?
Consistent when your name is
Wait.
Jordan.
I'm sorry.
The lead. What's our team name?
Skipper Me Timbers, I believe.
Skipper Me Timbers. Good pick.
It was a good pick. Yeah. So Wetterman with his first shot.
Okay, well.
So after the victory, do you know who you'll be playing next?
I don't know when I'll be playing, Brian.
Oh, you don't even know when you'll be playing, let alone who.
That's my Skip's job to worry about.
You just show up when told to show up.
Exactly.
And do what you're told to do. Okay.
Stones in house.
Stones in house.
Yeah, like 20%
A good
off.
mantra. So Wetterman might have overthrown that a little bit, but it still looks like Charlotte is sitting 2. But better can only ever get worse. Whereas if you keep stones in front of what's called the T line, which is a line that intersects the middle of the house, they can always be improved.
Sweep!
Clancy calling for the sweep. Might have the right weight on this.
I told you.
It's going to come up a little bit short.
You said up. Well, it died.
Yeah, it's very
I know.
Probably not what she was looking for. So, looking forward to the rest of the weekend. A lot of curling.
Mara, where is it?
Oh yeah. The more games you win, the more you play.
Right.
So a lot of curling for us.
Good.
Skipper Me Timbers.
Good.
All the way to the top.
Okay. So each team is guaranteed, what, 3 matches, correct?
3.
Yep.
If you lose the first draw, you have to play at 8.
Okay.
And then
the next morning.
Karaoke is tonight.
Ah.
So you don't want to miss that if you want to win your first match. That's the real prize.
That's the real prize, is karaoke and
Trivia.
Yep. Our quizmaster Brian was hard at work putting that together, I believe last night or the night before.
It'll be in the warm room at the Daytona Ice Arena, and all are welcome. So, a fun trivia night for all.
Absolutely.
Their newly renovated warm room. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, the whole place has been really renovated. What do you think of the renovations?
Big turnaround. Really enjoying it. Staff is super friendly. Great pours. Pitchers are good priced. And trivia, so
good.
Lots of laughs to be had later tonight.
Yeah, they've brought in something like 24 televisions, flat screens to put throughout the buildings here. It's really quite spectacular. They've completely redone just about every wall, floor, ceiling, part to the building that you possibly could. All
right, so on that, I'm going to head back to the warm room and keep stacking with the loggerhead team.
Stacking. Now, what is stacking?
That is broom stacking,
Okay.
which is the act of both teams sitting down after a match and engaging in a little social activity, which is super important for the sport. That social aspect, that bonding, and probably my favorite part of the sport, which is why I do this. To meet great people like you. I call everyone my second family here at Orlando Curling, and absolutely why I am here.
Outstanding. Outstanding. You know what else is outstanding? The R2D2s score another 3-ender, and they have an 8-2 lead. That's going to be over Game of Stones. So, I did promise a fun fact at the end of our interview, so could you give us a fun fact, perhaps about curling or about yourself, our team, something like that?
Let's see. I should probably think of a fun ice fact, being an ice prep guy.
Yes, you're big into the ice prep. You often help out. Well, tell us about ice prep. What goes into the ice prep for curling? It's not normal hockey ice, is it?
Yeah, it's not really. We really care about the ice we have here. We care about it being very level. So after the arena hands the ice over to us, we have to then spend overnight time pebbling and scraping the ice, which is where we will take our water packs. It has a special head. We will lay down little drops of water and pebble repeatedly to help give us a level ice. And we have a Ice King machine, which has a very big blade on the front, motor on the back, and it is very heavy and honed well, so it's level. And we will then level the ice as best we can for the curlers here today, so that they can really put on a good show for us.
Well, that sounds outstanding. It was a really good explanation. Thank you for that. And do you have any fun facts about it?
Fun facts is that you always feed the ice crew.
Always feed the ice crew. That's very sound advice. Very good. Well, Jordan, thank you very much for your interview.
See you on the ice, Brian.
Absolutely. That was Jordan Cuoco out of the Orlando Curling Club bringing you the fifth end fun facts. Getting down to the business end of our fifth end. It's going to be Conrad setting up her first shot.
All right. So we are just trying to get, yeah, that's fine.
It almost went by perfectly.
Top 12. Yeah, maybe. It was fuzz of some sort. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Nah, it was black, so I think you're probably good. Just top 12. I don't want it to be. I want it to be no more than touching 8. So 12 is ideal. Yeah, line. Hard line, hard line, hard line. Nah. That's fine. Not mad at the lay.
Conrad seems happy with that.
Big city sweeps.
Ends up being another guard. They are sitting 2 right now. They could take the lead again, and it looks like they've clogged up that middle pretty well. Not giving Clancy many options.
Yeah, I'll try.
Obviously a big aspect to
Yeah.
Had it gone, do you think it would have been like
Let me come this way.
curling is the sweeping.
3? Like what
It's something yellow.
you're feeling on the way there?
Okay. I know, but I tried this so many times.
And you'll hear different commands for the
I could have just thrown it
sweepers.
better too. What is that?
Talking about weight and line.
Line was right on too.
It's something yellow.
After a stone is released,
What
sweeping can help it do one of 2 things. It can help it either
Hit
go
something
further
yellow.
if it hasn't been thrown quite hard enough. I've heard from folks such as gold medalists John Schuster and Tyler George that you can improve the position of a stone by good sweeping Anywhere from 10 to 15 feet. But you can also control the line, how much it curls, how much it doesn't curl. Generally speaking, sweeping keeps the stone from curling, keeps the line straighter. As Clancy comes down, looking to just move some guards out of the way, she does with that top guard, but probably not what she's looking for.
Well, I hit something yellow.
Shoots straight through. Yeah, so oftentimes after a stone is released,
You felt like it was fairly slow out there when you threw, right?
Skip will
Like a little slow,
wait until
slower
it's
in the middle.
on the line
The key is
of
low
where they want it
ball.
to end up, and then we'll call the sweepers to sweep and hold it there. It'll travel straight down the rest of the ice, or just continue to curl at a steady rate so that it ends up where they want it.
But if it gets a little past, it'll bury, so it's okay to T-line.
But it can be hard balancing between
And if it doesn't bump,
weight
it
control
goes
versus
to,
line control.
Yeah. If it doesn't go, if it doesn't bump that, misses it to the center, then keep sweeping it to bury it.
So you'll often hear skips yelling harder or hurry, things like that. It's asking sweeps to put more pressure on the brooms to affect the stone more.
Just go, yes.
Conrad with her final shot. Still sitting too. Looking for another guard. Ooh, perhaps that'll draw in. Oh, she might have done that perfectly to promote her own stone. Will it be enough though? No, it's not going to make a difference. It does continue to plug that hole.
I know.
Not leaving Clancy many options.
I know, don't be scared.
Try to hit to like the right of those.
It did, it came down a lot. Yeah, Casey, if it looks slow, especially on the sides, just go for it. Unless you're dying. I don't want to like kill you.
Remember, it's going to die up there on the edge.
Definitely could be interesting.
So Clancy with her final shot. Last opportunity to keep Charlotte from taking 2 points. I don't know if she's going to be happy. They're trying to promote one stone. Are they going to try for the double promotion? Well, they got them both. Is she actually going to get it? No. A brilliant shot. Perhaps more weight would have done it. She does limit the damage, so Charlotte only gets 1 point. They do take a lead. Now as we finish the 5th end, it is 5 sheets to the wind.
You cut it to 1. Nice shot.
3, hurry Arrghh,
Did it work?
2.
Yeah, you cut it from 2 to 1.
Okay.
So it worked.
Yeah. I mean, the way it looked to me. the last
Score
time I was down, it
updates
looked
from
pretty bad.
around the rink over on sheet E.
Could have been worse, I guess.
The Scurvy Peaches have now just a 4-3 lead over Captain Pickleback. R2D2s still with an 8-2 lead over Game of Stones. On sheet B, it's Nina Pinta and the Santa Maria scoring 3 in the 4th end to tie up that match at 4. And over on sheet A, it is Burned Rocks Tell No Tales with a 6-1 lead over Weekend with Bernie. It was a big 4-point end in the 4th for Burned Rocks Tell No Tales. As we start our 6th end, we get down to towards the end of the match. Each of these matches is 8 ends long. However, there is also a time limit. You have, what is it, 2 hours, hour and a half? 2 hours to complete 8 ends. If you can't get all of them in before the final 10-minute mark, then that's it. So it does necessitate being prudent with your time management. 44 minutes left on the clock here, so it looks like they have plenty of time in our featured match as we're already in the 6th end. They're moving along quite nicely, and we got a tight one here. Clancy able to defensive sweep that through, so you'll see that sometimes the skips sweep the stones of their opponent's throw. They are allowed to do so after that stone crosses the tee line. And sometimes if they sweep it hard enough, they can sweep it all the way out of the house and out of a scoring position. Always a benefit. But they are not allowed to touch the other team's stone before that. However, if at any point one of their stones is moving, such as the other team hits one of their stones, they can always sweep it to promote it. Clancy with the middle guard there. She has to be disappointed with how some of the ends have played out. However, the final results haven't been too bad. No one has scored more than 2 in a single end. We've still got a close match here. And a good shot there from Wetterman. Right there, just halfway onto the 4-foot, leaving Charlotte sitting 2. As Dan Kalin and his brilliant handlebar mustache comes down with his first shot. If there is anyone here who looks like he really could be a pirate, it just might be Dan Kalin. He's got a tricorn hat with a feather in it. A beard coming off of his chin down several inches that is just brilliantly complemented by perhaps the nicest handlebar mustache I have ever seen in person. He has it waxed up very nicely. And if I could grow facial hair like that, believe me, I would. Some of us are not blessed in such ways. Wetterman's second shot coming down. And some light sweeping just to get it into a good position. Conrad tells him to help it out. It looks like it's going to settle just on the top of the 8-foot. So with Kalin's shot sitting in there, Charlotte now only sitting, well, it might only be 1. It's hard to tell from this angle. Could just be 1, might possibly be 2. Successful takeout there really makes the point moot. Charlotte sits 1. As Ryan Dennertig sets in for his first shot. Of this 6th end, we will have matches again at 2:45 this afternoon. Our 3rd draw. And then after that, again at, if I'm correct, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. is the final draw of the day. Supposedly there's a schedule somewhere, but I don't necessarily believe them. That stone ends up getting thrown through, so it is Greenberg. Jeff Greenberg looking to take out the shot stone of Charlotte. Perhaps put Ardsley in a position to sit two. Aha, thank you, Jim. We have a schedule here, draw schedule. So it'll be 2:45 will be our next draw. And then there's one in between, 5:15 and then 7 p.m., 8 p.m. tonight. So we have 2 more draws after this today. Hope you will tune in for both of those. There's sure to be some fantastic curling. Dennertig looking for just a guard on the top 8 is what Conrad is looking for. Just some light sweeping. He may have overdone it. Just a little bit. That's going to sit fully in the 4 foot. So Charlotte will sit 2, but both are open hits. Conrad is happy with it, though. It looks like Clancy is going for the double takeout. Greenberg is going to come down, throw the stone in with a fair amount of weight at a certain angle. That will ricochet the first yellow stone into the second. And hopefully, from their perspective, pop them out, leaving the shooter to sit 3. Kalen almost takes a stumble as the shot wrecks on the top guard.
Okay, lock it up.
But it does leave the house completely open, and you can hear Conrad's.
It really hugs the center line there till the end.
Asking for that hole to be plugged up, guarded up.
Well, yeah, he pushed it a little wide. Well, I mean, I was just wondering why you were sweeping, because it was in the wrong place, you know.
2 or 3 even, because they're be deep. But
Oh, cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay, you said cleaning the ice.
I mean,
Okay, yeah, that's good.
we know the line now, so I want to take a little away. But yeah, 2 is fine.
Was I wide or just didn't curl? Or
A little wide, yeah.
and it didn't move at all that way.
Well, it actually moved out.
Yeah, I know. The first one did too. It fell out.
Oh, a little heavy, you're right. Stop. Stop. Stop and curl. Stop and curl. Just. Wow, really? Oh, good. Good, a double. Actually,
And overthrowing that is Conrad, so she has 3 stones sitting right there in the 4 foot. But that, yeah, as Mr. Windsor says, that is a target just waiting to be hit by something. Clancy probably going to come straight down the center line with a lot of power and perhaps pop all 3 stones out. At least the top 2. If she can hit them right in the center, they will both be sent off in opposite directions, and the shooter will be left straight there. Sit 1.
Sorry, everybody up there. Thank you. It doesn't have time to curl back. If they throw, I mean, it throws way out. Yeah, it's cracking out. Oh, maybe not.
So Clancy's shot coming down. Is she going to make the takeout? Oh, she's going to miss everything.
All right, let's try to do what we tried to do last time, just a little less ice.
She has another stone left, but if, as you can hear Conrad saying, if she can do what she was trying to do last time, here, she could really put Clancy in a hole with only 2 ends remaining after this.
Same sort of thing, just less. What? Baby weight, yeah. Like puppies and baby gap weight. Puppies and kittens and rainbows weight. Okay.
Someone crying?
Come over,
Oh,
baby. Come over, baby. I threw a guard.
Oh, that is a perfect guard. Right directly on the center line. That's exactly the line that Clancy would want to throw down. Now she's got to figure out how to somehow get around
Your
that.
shots this round were fantastic.
And pop out
Your
3
first shots this round were
stones.
fantastic. You're like, I was like, here, put it here. And you're like, okay. Yeah, yours.
So Conrad with a perfect shot, really putting the pressure on.
No, we're good. Oh boy.
Clancy coming down with a lot of power. Greenberg calling for the sweep. Calling them off. Is the line right though? Well, it's going to go wide and it's going to go right through, so it's going to be 3 points for Charlotte, and they are going to take a 4-point lead going into the 7th end.
Almost a whack. Yeah. Very close. Oh. Yeah.
Good in, guys. So, as we start the 7th end, I would like to thank Pepperidge Farms. Pepperidge Farm making good cookies, good crackers, good all-around snacks since probably a long time ago. They're certainly older than I am. Pepperidge Farms are the ones that make goldfish, right? Pepperidge Farm goldfish? I love the fishes because they are so delicious. Got goldfishes. Yeah, that was the old commercial, right? I could eat them every day and my mom says that's okay. My mom always said that was okay. Conrad going with the high guard there. Score update over on sheet A. It's Burned Rocks Tell No Tales 7. Weekend with Bernie 1. On sheet B, it's a 6-4 lead for Nina Pinta and Santa Maria. The big comeback for Nina. After trailing early to start 4-1, they have come back with a fury of 5 unanswered points to take a 6-4 lead. In sheet D, it is the R2D2 9 with Game of Stones 2. And over on sheet E, it is 6-3 with the Scurvy Peaches over Captain Pickleback.
They don't usually make me work that hard.
Well, it's not a
Yes.
fighter, but it's over the line.
It's true.
Mine's okay. Where is it? Okay.
Mine's still fine.
Mine's still fine. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be.
Maybe. Okay, go ahead and take it. Yep.
Enjoying the curling thoroughly.
Stay on. Okay. Great job. Good feedback.
And Charlotte with a good shot there, sitting in the 4-foot out on the gate, the back biter of Arrghh. So they'll sit one. We're getting to the business end of the match. 2 ends left, and only, if I can read that clock right, 20 minutes, 29 minutes
They
left?
mic'd me up and I have to behave. They mic'd me up.
Remember,
and I
when
have
that
to
clock
behave.
hits 10 minutes remaining, you're allowed to finish the end that you are in, but you are not allowed to start another one. And with only 2 ends left in this match, Clancy and her Arrghh rink are going to want to get in gear pretty quickly.
Yeah, family programming, Alan. Family programming.
Well, that shot is not going to be what Clancy wanted from Kaylin, as it's going to actually bump their own stone out
Right up here, just invite us.
of play, leaving Conrad still sitting 1, but nothing else in the house.
Lighter is better than heavier.
Giving instruction to Wetterman, lighter, heavier than better, and heavier.
Just invite us. I think it's okay.
Conrad's going to look to put up
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You're right.
as many guards as
Trying to get that
possible.
line more than anything.
Probably protect not only this one stone, but protect the
That's
lead.
Beautiful. Nice job.
Perhaps look to simply run out the clock and run Clancy out of stones. She puts up another perfect guard. Right in the middle on the center line, a couple feet from the 12-foot. As Kaylin comes in with his second shot. Clancy looking to draw around it. Gotta bite the 4-foot some
Okay, up.
or better. Well, that's just going to be too light, and it's going to be another guard. Clancy and her team have had a consistent problem this match of throwing weights that were too light. Throwing guards when they needed draws, and well, even more guards when they needed takeouts. The hardest part of curling is that weight control, knowing how hard to throw a shot, and that's what can really separate players and teams.
Yes, line.
You see some teams have stopwatches. They can actually time how quickly a player comes out of the hack for the release of their stone, or if they would rather time how long it takes for a stone to go from one end of the sheet to the other. It gives each player an idea of how fast not only the ice is, but how fast they're throwing for a specific shot, so they can use that as a reference when throwing a similar shot again. You see the professionals do it all the time, and it's amazing how accurate they can be in a couple of hundredths or tenths of a second. Charlotte puts another one in the 12-foot, really putting the pressure on. Oh, and it's going to be an unfortunate series of ricochets there for Clancy's squad. As their shot comes in, wrecks on their own guard, and then that shot ricochets off of a Charlotte guard that ends up putting that into the house. So now Charlotte's sitting 3 with a couple of guards directly in front protecting it.
We're good.
You gotta think that if Clancy can't do something here, we might get handshakes after this end.
Yep.
As Harden comes down looking to throw another guard just to put up more barriers for Clancy to draw around.
Keep going, keep going.
Make it harder and harder for them to get into a scoring position. That's another nicely executed shot.
I was playing the, see if it would dive a little further and block that side a little. Sweep! The one I didn't want to hit. So yeah, I had you right about there. Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, guard.
Do you want it slightly to the right of center?
Oh, I want it staggered for sure. To the right of where ours are. Yeah, half the rock on the side of ours, on the right side of ours. My puppies and kittens and rainbows out here. Okay.
You hit something yellow.
Okay.
I was going to yell down, not into the house. But you did hit something yellow.
I think we're probably close.
I'm thinking if I
Might
can't
be
fix
it.
this.
That's fine.
Oh boy.
Don't die. There it goes. There it goes. Stop. Really? It came over like... it came over a dumb amount in the end.
It's another guard for Conrad.
Got to finish.
Looking to sew up her position. She's still sitting 3.
That's okay.
I mean, what shot?
Clancy can't seem to find a way in.
Could I draw over to here? You think? Okay, I think that's the best thing I could possibly.
Give this took us a minute to get in our group. We've never played together. So.
I need to draw to the 4 foot.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Well, you heard it from Clancy. Rather simple. She needs to draw to the 4 foot.
Not have my finger on? Oh my.
She needs to do it a couple of times.
Yep.
Draw. Okay. What do you? I don't know. No. Okay.
I wasn't clear about if it was you had to start.
Talking things over
draw.
with,
Or 10 minutes.
talking things over with Kaylin.
Start. I know that. I just didn't know if like it was a hard time end. So if like your time is 0, you're done. That was. I doubt it, but. Hit Arrghh. You may want to.
Yeah, it's just going to come up a little bit short of the house. It does get a guard out of the way, so it does open things up a touch, but that one guard sitting directly on the center line is really still going to be the problem for Clancy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Conrad, Nancy Clancy have to hit
just to get, because we got to go out there and then come back
incredibly
in.
difficult shot just to get one and stay in the match.
Not that much. Yeah, go ahead. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, you're fine. Thanks, guys.
And it's another brilliantly executed shot from Conrad. looking to really seal this thing up.
Sorry. Story, not sorry.
Not giving Clancy any room to get around there. She still has to draw on the forefoot just for 1 point to cut the lead down to 3. Try and steal in the final end.
I'm just going to try to tap the green.
Oh, wait, wait. Oh, wow. He's going that way at it. Well, there might be some stuff to move around up here. Is it? It's not looking very fun.
And that's not going to be what she was looking for. Coming right down the center. And the guard is going to shoot through the house, so it's going to be 3 points for Charlotte.
How many? I think it was 3. There's 3, yeah? Okay. Nice team. Yeah, I think so. I think
And it's going to be a 9-2 lead. And we have handshakes. So, Hurry Arrgh, the Nancy Clancy Ardsley rank has called it quits, giving Charlotte the win. 5 sheets to the wind. Will move on with a 5-2 victory over Hurry Arrgh. And it was just too much for the Clancy rank. Charlotte put the pressure on in the 5th end and then wouldn't let it go from there. Score updates. Skirkowski rank on sheet A has 2 points in the 6th end to cut the lead down 7-3. On sheet B, it is still 6-4 with Nina Pinta and Santa Maria over Queen Anne's Revenge. They are still playing on sheet D, and I'm glad to see so. It was Game of Stones scoring 2 in the 6th end to cut the lead of the R2D2s down to 9-4. And over on sheet E, it is the Scurvy Peaches 7 and Captain Pickleback 3. As we draw this broadcast to a close, we would like to thank you all for tuning in to the second draw of the 3rd annual Pirates of the CurlRibbean Bonspiel. Come back to us at 5 o'clock. No, 2:45. 2:45 is the 3rd draw. Getting my scheduling mixed up here. But after that, there will be another draw at 5, and then the final one of the evening at 8 o'clock. I'd like to thank my 5th end Fun Facts interview, Jordan Cuoco, my crew, the Windsors, Jim and Tom running the mics and the cameras. I am Brian Bird signing off. We will see you later in the evening.
It's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Jolly sou'wester, boys, steady she go.
And then up jumps the shark with his 9 rows of teeth, saying, "You eat the dough, boys, and I'll eat the beef." And it's
Windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Jolly sou'wester, boys, steady she goes.
up jumps the whale, the largest of all. If you want any wind, well, I'll blow you a squall. And it's
Windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Jolly sou'wester, boys, steady she goes.
I thought I heard the old man say, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Tomorrow ye will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the wind was foul and the sea ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. She shipped it green and none went by, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. I hate to sail on this rotten tub. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. No grog allowed and rotten grub, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. We swear by our oath for want of more. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. But now we're through, so we'll go on shore, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.